Alright guys, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to talk about how you can go about managing your time during that verbal section of yours, because a lot of people have told me that they're kind of trying to basically get into the verbal section as soon as possible and just not waste their time but start doing the questions altogether, and they're just doing it as fast as they can, but they still end up missing at least one or two questions. And mostly that happens because you cannot limit your time, and you are not able to limit your time per question. So what we're going to talk about is basically how you can specifically for each question how much time you should allot. All right, so again, first of all, let me tell you how I used to do it, because after every section ended, like my verbal section, I used to have at least like 1 or 2 minutes, at least 1 or 2 minutes. Sometimes I would even have 5 minutes remaining. So let's talk about that part. Okay, first of all, if you have text completions, so these are the first six questions of your, 20 questions that you see on your verbal section. Well, try to go about these as fast as you can, because supposingly, if these are, one blank, then what you can do is basically you can just take about 30 seconds. And trust me, one blank questions, 30 seconds isn't so bad. You can finish reading the sentence within the first 15 seconds, and maybe decide or fill in the next five, and decide the actual answer to that question within the next 10 seconds. So that's 30 seconds, and trust me, it is very liberal that you are able to get 30 seconds, but I think you should limit yourself to 30 seconds for one blank questions. Don't go into it, if you don't know the meaning of a word, don't just keep on thinking and just wasting your time. Try to eliminate the words as soon as possible, have your fill in as soon as possible, and basically after that, the elimination process and the whole regime, follow that. And hopefully you should be able to do this in 30 seconds, at max 45, but don't try to push it, I would recommend. All right, now if you have two blank questions, right? If you have like two blank questions, well, that should take you about like 45 seconds to 1 minute. I would say like take 50 seconds on such questions, but you can push it to 1 minute if you like, but try to limit yourself within these 50 seconds. Two blank questions, I know sometimes they're like the text is huge, but you can still do it if you in most cases, if the text is not that huge and if you're able to understand the question. Just what you need to remember with text completions is that don't try to keep thinking of you know thinking of the words that are written. Try to hide them at first, and then have your fill in, and only then go into those choices, because there are so many traps in them, and you will get stuck if you don't go about it in a proper way. So have your fill in, and then go to the answers and choices, and then select your answers. If you do not know the meaning of a word, if you don't know the meaning of two or three words, just select something and then move on. Mark that question and move on. You need to learn this skill. You need to know how to basically move on from the question, and not get stuck on it thinking that all right, the answer will just come to me if I spend 1 minute on it, one more minute on it. So try to not do that. All right, if you have three questions, three blanks. Three blank questions are the hardest ones. I used to have a lot of issues with them. Try to solve a lot of them from Manhattan 5 pound book or something. They will help you out. And well, in case of these questions, and only in case of these questions, try to spend about uh, let's say 75 seconds or so. But that's 1 minute and 15 seconds, 1 minute and 15 seconds. But you can still push it to maybe 90 seconds, 1 minute and 30 seconds, but try to keep it within 75 seconds. If you follow this, you should be able to finish your first six questions. Those are the text completions, within the first 5 minutes of your test, at max 6 minutes of your text. So if you're able to do this, you will have finished the first six questions within the first 5 minutes. According to me, it should be 5 minutes. All right. Once you have done that, you will have 25 minutes left. Okay, you have 25 minutes left here, and with that, you also have 15 questions left. All right. Now, some people like to go about the test by just skipping on the RC. I'm not doing that. I actually, do the questions as they come to me in that order. So, because, sometimes you just skip some questions and you don't even know about them. So anyway, next you're going to get a RC. It's hopefully the, largest RC that you will see on the GRE. But again, here, what I suggest you do is basically, for the reading comprehensions, you will, well, spend, if the text is like large, if it is like a really long text completion, there's only one long text completion in every section, in every verbal section, right? So if you have like this large uh, kind of a text completion, sorry, reading comprehension, then take 3 minutes and 45 seconds for that. you know Reading, this is the reading time, this is the maximum reading time. Don't spend more time on it. I'm gonna show you what I've built for you. This is like a simple program. I wrote it like when I was preparing for my GRE, and I was preparing from books like this one, and basically there were just no ways to kind of time myself properly when I was spending time doing that RC section. So well, when you're doing that, the RC section, and you have like uh, nothing to time yourself. Well, that's what I basically built. That's kind of like a timer. Okay, so like this is a huge RC passage, as you can see, and it has like two questions, and basically it's one long RC, right? So what you can do is go to this program. I'll paste the link in the description, by the way. Just go to this program, press play, and you can select what kind of a passage it is. It is a long passage, so you give it one. Here it says one for long, and then it's going to ask you how many questions are there. Well, you're going to say there are two questions over here. So it's going to automatically set the timer on the basis of that. So it gave you like 3 minutes and 45 seconds at first for the reading time, and basically 45 seconds each for your, sorry, basically your questions. So that's how basically it's doing it. I mean, it's like, I'm not sure if it gave you 45 seconds for, I think, two questions in, yeah, in conjunction. But the thing is that I use this timer personally when I was kind of preparing for my GRE, and I was doing questions from this kind of a book. So I basically didn't really have to do it every time. I didn't really have to basically set the timer or calculate the time every time. So all you can do is just basically set the timer over here. The timer will keep running, and I built a GUI for it, but I kind of disabled it because it kind of used to go behind the Chrome window. I don't know, something used to happen weird with it. But this is just as good. The timer is in front of you, and you can try to finish within this time period. All right. So this is what you can do for the RCs. And again, sentence completions are the easiest, right? Sentence equivalence, sorry. Sentence equivalence, basically just spend 45 seconds on each. This is like the maximum time I would say you should spend on it, because sometimes I used to even finish them within the first 15 or 20 seconds only. They can be real simple. Now, if you need to, practice, if you need some good resources for practicing, and you're out of resources, you're finished with this book or something, this is the best book. You should go with this first of all. But if you're in that position, what you can do is, well, first of all, they have like three verbal sections at the end, verbal practice sections. You can go here, and they have like three practice sections: easy, medium, and difficult. You can go and start with these sections. All right. I was not able to finish these three sections because my GI date was nearing, and I didn't know about these, but you should be able to do them, right? The other thing you can do is go to your Cablen resources, and basically they have really good verbal sections. Their verbal sections are really good. You can actually just start solving from here. They are very comparable to the GRE, and basically you will have a timer running on this thing, so you'll basically learn to manage your time. These are like just one practice section, 30 minutes each, right? So there are 10 practice sections, and you can basically attempt them in whatever order you like, and they will help you out. All right, so that's about your timing, your verbal section. Try to stick to these, adhere to these times, and basically the reading comprehension, everything is basically in the algorithm itself, so you don't really have to I don't really have to write out the times for you, and you don't have to calculate them. It's just easier if you are able to use the program, right? I think I added like yeah, a volume as well. Like once the timer goes down to zero, it's gonna play a volume, right? So you'll know that your time is up, so you don't have to repeatedly keep on looking at the screen. So that's there as well. So the only thing that is kind of stopping you from getting there and basically finishing your exam within the first 28 minutes, finishing your verbal section within the first 28 minutes, is because you're lacking practice. That's the truth. And if you want to practice more, I would suggest pick up a good book like 5 pound book, or pick up some ETS books, or do those verbal sections from here. And basically you're going to be able to kind of placate your situation. You're going to be able to, well, kind of you know be faster. And the more practice sections you do, trust me, your speed will increase. One more thing that I used to do wrong was that basically I would always kind of reread the passage. Don't do that. Like, don't keep reading the passage, just skim through it. You don't have to understand every line of it. It's all right if you cannot understand some part of it. It's completely fine. Just kind of and try to get as much as you can in the first go. Read the whole passage, and then start attempting the questions. Go back to the passage every time you see a question which you're not sure about. All right. But if you're sure about it, just mark it and move on. Don't kind of confirm everything from the passage. This is a mistake I personally used to make, and it used to kind of cost me. Basically, I used to always finish up my RCs late, and that's really why I struggled with the verbal section at first. But as soon as I started practicing a lot, as soon as I started to kind of timing myself in every section, every question, it went away. So, all right, guys, thanks for your time. I think that's about it. That's all the things I have to say. And yeah, I guess you should be able to finish it properly now. And really try your best. Don't think about things, just get to the practice. And let me know if this video helped you. Let me know if there's some other suggestions you would like other students to know. Post them down in the comment section below. Again, if you would like to get in touch with me personally, that's always through Instagram. I always recommend Instagram. Just go to my Instagram and get in touch with me. Send me a direct message and I will reply to you. You can also follow me there, and basically I will be posting my whole journey over there, my whole shortlisting of colleges, and basically whatever I'm doing, and wherever this process takes me. So if you are interested in that, you can follow me on Instagram. And again, I wish you the best of luck. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks.